Hey everybody, Dr. Greco here. Welcome to Ministry in a Minute. So the last couple of weeks we've been moving through the metaphors of the tabernacle. And we started off with the table and we talked about the lampstands. And there are just a dozen that we could do, but those are the ones I think that are biggies, except for the biggest of them all, the granddaddy, the Ark of the Covenant. So the tabernacle and the temple were laid out in such a way that there was a room in the front that people could go into and worship, but in the back was the Holy of Holies, and only the high priest would go in, and only once a year, and that's where the Ark of the Covenant was, the very presence of God. And we're going to talk about the Ark of the Covenant as a metaphor, and primarily what the Ark of the Covenant was a typology of Christ. It pointed forward to who Jesus would be. And it's just such a huge thing. I mean, they make movies about it, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And so there's so much going on with the Ark, and we see it in the Old Testament as this often used symbol of who Jesus was. But one of the most important symbols, one of the most important things about the Ark was what was called the mercy seat. Because once a year, the high priest would go in and he would sprinkle the blood of a sacrifice on the Ark of the Covenant, on the mercy seat, the judgment seat, as some call it. And what this shows is that God has the prerogative to forgive sin. God is the one who can tell us that he has forgiven us. Only God can forgive sins, is what the Pharisees accused Jesus of when he came and told people they were forgiven. Unbeknownst to them, he was God in the flesh and he could forgive sins. But the point is that forgiveness, that on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, the high priest would go in and he would get forgiveness by sacrificing that one animal for the year, for the entire nation of Israel. And obviously, it points forward to the sacrifice of Christ on the cross once for all. So when you see the Ark of the Covenant, remember that the first thing it typifies, the first thing about Jesus that it points to is that forgiveness. God loves you. He's always had a plan to redeem you, to restore you, to forgive you, and to give you hope. The Ark of the Covenant. We'll see you tomorrow for another Ministry in a Minute.